Alright, so we're back with another production video, tip, tutorial, piece of advice. Let's get started. So this one deals with treating loops and samples with plugins and different filters and such so that you can change them and get unique sounds. And I started off, I found these two guitar loops over here. They originally sounded like this. And this one. So I sandwiched them together and slowed them down a little bit since they ran at 113 BPM, as you can see down here. I made sure they were all in time. I placed my warp markers, got them wherever I wanted them, along with the metronome, and yeah, now I had that. And then from there I decided, okay, you know, let me EQ it a little bit. So I brought up this EQ curve right here. You can see it. And I feel like it really brings out some of the highs in this. And then I put on this twin tube. And on this plugin right here, I just raised the harmonics and the amount of saturation. And you can definitely hear the distortion come out. As a result of the plugin. You can use any sort of overdrive or distortion plugin to try to get the same sound that this SPL twin tube gets you. Then I added a Tremolator over here, and what this does is it gives it a little bit of you know, wobbly, you know, twangy feel to it. I automated the amount of depth right here, as you can see in this curve. Let's listen to it. I opted for a 1/8 rhythm increment for the tremolo. I added this PhaseMistress plugin over here by SoundToys, and I started automating the amount of the mix, and the wet and dry signal, and I went with a full modulation and a little above average resonance. And I started the frequency around, actually I automated the frequency as well. You can see the frequency automation curve right here. So let's see how that changed up. So after that, I added this Crystalizer plugin, and I went and got the preset blue box sub octave, and that's under harmonized right here, blue box sub octave, and you'll see how this sounds. So you get the idea. What it does is it takes the signal, it layers a copy of that signal against the signal that it took, and it pitches it down an octave, and it pretty much, you know, filters it, and, you know, adds feedback and all that good stuff. And finally, we add this inline ping pong delay plugin, and, you know, yeah, I think it's pretty self-explanatory what this does. I just set it to an increment of 4, and then I automated the dry wet signal so that the plugin only really hits on these last notes. You can see it hits here, but not here, and then here, but not here. And we'll see how that sounds. So yeah, you see how that sounds. We get delay only on those last notes, so only those last notes repeat themselves instead of the whole thing, and that's one of the benefits and the beauties of automation curves, is you can set the amount to, you know, whatever note you want to have ring out after the fact. Yeah, I guess other worthwhile notes, I took this bass sample right here and I added this little plug-in effects chain down here at the bottom. So let's see how this affects it. Filter Freak. We had the EQ. And then the compressor. And then let's layer some drums on top of that. And then I chopped up this kick and added this kick layer in here. So I have that. And then I chopped up these timpani parts. What's that, these? The idea. Alright, so let's go over this breakdown right here. What we have going on is a transition, a build-up, you know, the beat builds itself and everything, and then it kind of peaks out a little bit and breaks down, and then wham, you're slammed with all this, you know, the goodness that was that guitar lick that we were working on earlier. So what I have going on here is I have this orchestra sample, and I have an automation curve set to send to this infinite breakdown sends track right over here. And on this sends track, I have an Echo Boy plugin set to space echo, and here are the two echo times. Echo 1 is at 1/8, Echo 2 is at 1/4. I have a Tremolator right here, and I set the rhythm interval to 1/8, and then I automate the amount of the depth over time in this gap. And then I have a PhaseMistress, and then finally I send it to this ping pong delay, and I set the interval to 2. I synced up MIDI, and then I automated the amount of wet and dry signal over time. You can really dig down inside here and check out all the intricacies of how I wired this all up and how the sends are all set up in the automation curves, but let's just take a listen to it and see how it sounds. Alrighty, success. So yeah, we successfully built up the beat, you know, slow cooked it, gave him a little more, you know, suspense, you know, left him in suspense, gave it all back, and then broke it down one more time. Yeah, it's a 3.5 minute long track pretty much, and yeah, I hope you guys gained a little bit of insight, add a little bit of tips and tricks for your tool bag, your production methods, and yeah, I hope you like the video, and you can get back at us on Twitter @BeatsAndSmore, Facebook BeatsAndSmore, or on our website beatsandsmore.com. And until next time, take it easy.